Fuck Yeah Nation Network.
This episode of Robertland has been brought to you by Getting Your Shit Together with Shefsky.
Shefsky here. Good morning. I'm up. I'm making my wife. I'm making her some breakfast. This is a Getting Your Shit Together with Shefsky kind of episode, where I'm just like, hey, check this out. This might make your life better. I like to get up before my wife and make her breakfast, and I think everybody should do this. It doesn't have to do it. Don't be like, John, I can't do that. My wife gets up early. Get up a little earlier. John, I can't do that every day. Do it just a couple days a week. Watch a little bit less TV at night the night before. Get up like a half an hour, maybe even just 20 minutes earlier. Make your partner some breakfast. You'll feel like a better partner. Your relationship will improve. Trust me on this one. You can do it for anybody. Do it for someone you live with. Do it for your dude wife, your lesbian husband, your roommate. Trust me, this will make life better. Ciao.
Welcome to Robertland. That's right, your favorite not safe for work comedy theme park podcast. And I'm your host, Robert Thompson, comedian, musician, theme park phenologist, how to do. What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Man, this is a real special episode. Boy.
Wow. Man.
It just took the life out of me. We started our guest here with some rock and roll right off the top.
Yeah.
This is, it's a crazy time, man. Theme parks reopening. It's a new year, hopefully.
Yeah, New Year's like 6 months ago. It was great.
Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, it's 1995 right now, and I'm really excited. I had a brain aneurysm, actually, in the 90s, and it hasn't left, dude. Have you guys seen that movie, Stargate?
The theme parks were closed in 1996 at like one day. And that's where you're at. That's the day you're at right now.
Yeah, dude. I'm just
stuck in a time loop.
I wonder what's going to happen to OJ, dude.
Is this like 50 First Dates? Is that what's happening right now? You're like Drew Barrymore waking up to the same day.
Or What About Bob? I'm sorry, not What About Bob. Groundhog's Day, yeah.
Yeah, I just got that new Dishwalla album I'm really excited about.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Bob Dole for president.
Have you heard about ska?
Yeah, it's coming up, dude.
Time period, right?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, I've heard that. No Doubt, I believe.
Yeah, they just started. Well, no, they just played. They just played. What's that college? Never mind. Fine.
You're out.
It's all right. Well,
just fucked it all up.
For everyone with autism, I'm glad that you're here, and you probably follow all of the references we're getting. I definitely have a form of ska, but guys, I'm excited. We've got Rossco Soletrain, of course, the man with the plan, and we've got our very special guest, Mr. Jeff Heimbuch.
Yeah, brother.
Did I pronounce it wrong?
No, you pronounced it correctly.
He would tell me to say Heimbach.
Yeah, he always says it wrong.
And not trying to throw
no, you did it. That's probably the only time somebody said it out loud correctly that I've heard.
Well, I'm glad that we can bring you in properly. But it's exciting, guys. Before we get to all this magic, we're going to go to my favorite segment, your favorite segment, Classic Theme Park Minute with Zack Hillman. Enjoy.
This is Theme Park Minute with Zack Hillman.
Yeah, this is Zach. I got something caught in my throat. Park du Futurescope is a futuristic theme park that has several 3D and 4D cinemas and rides mainly made from metal. It is located in France and the department of Vienne. The park opened in May 31st, 1987, but features modern classic rides. The park offers 24 attractions and 8 restaurants. Cost of admission, frog legs. Ugh.
All right, what's up, everybody? Man, it's been so fun.
Wow, Zach is a fucking blast, man. That was a great theme park minute with Zach.
Oh, man, it was...
What a guy.
It's beautiful,
oh,
man.
My God. Loved it.
Jeff, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we've been excited about this. As soon as I started doing this podcast with Robert, I thought, man, I got to get fucking Jeff on this
asked
thing.
me like months ago.
Did I?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. It's been a while.
My taint has been like juicing.
I can see it
through
your pants right now. If the camera was any lower.
Yeah, you could tell.
You could
tell.
My
God. So I'm really excited to have you on. Robert's really excited to have you on. And you've done a lot of fun stuff, Jeff.
I guess.
Yeah, and you've been a part of the Disney the theme park community as a whole You actually had your own theme park podcast.
I did,
for a
yeah.
long time that I was a big fan of for a long time.
Yeah, that is how we met, essentially, kind of.
Pretty
sort
much.
of, yeah.
Yep.
Communicore Weekly did it for a solid 5 years. Started off just like strictly, I was gonna say strictly dick. That's not what I was gonna say. Strictly Disney. And then like year 3 and 4, we started incorporating other or other theme parks. And then like 4 and 5, we just like went all out for everything. A history of all these other theme parks because, you know, Disney is just boring by itself after a while. You need to like explore the world, see other cool shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit out there.
There is.
Yeah.
But good shit. Good shit and bad shit.
It's all good. I love shit, so I'm kind of a shit fan.
Well, that's also how we met.
Yeah.
Is there a fecophiliac podcast you guys?
No, we
had?
met on showusyourasshole.com. Remember we were talking about
Oh,
this
okay,
earlier?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. It's crazy because, you know, there's kind of a lot that I had heard from Ross. You know, I heard that you wrote a book about Rolly Crump. You know, and you know, that alone is there's so many questions there, but that's amazing, man. How did you meet Rolly?
I have been a fan of his for like since I was a kid. Like I remember some of my earliest memories of Disney was stuff that he had created. And when I grew up and like maybe middle school, high school, whatever, I started realizing like, oh, like somebody made this shit for the theme parks. Like I got to figure it out. And there wasn't really the internet back then. Like I know I'm dating myself, but like there's no way of really finding out that information that much. And then
Civil rights is going on.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, presidents are being assassinated.
Poor JFK, right?
Yeah. No.
I went to my library and like I took out a videotape of The Wonderful World of Disney. It was like 100% bootleg. It wasn't an official thing, but like they were letting people rent it out. And it was the episode where Rolly talks to Walt about the Museum of the Weird. And I was like, I love this fucking dude. I don't know who this is, but I'm into this. And like whatever, you know, years go on. I start like the internet happens. I start reading more about him and like what he did. I was just a huge fan. And then when I started writing about Disney, I was, I don't know, just out of college. Maybe I was still in college. I saw that he had released some kind of thing called like a walk in the park. It was like an audio guide of Disneyland. So I sent him an email to help promote it for like to write for a website I was writing for at the time. And it was supposed to be like a half-hour like podcast interview conversation in my then girlfriend's closet. And I was, I'm sorry phrasing, I was in the closet talking to him for 4 hours. And it just like blew my mind. Like, and that was enough for me. I was like, I can never hear from this man again. Like, that's fine. And then like a few weeks later, his now wife emailed me and was like, you know, we really enjoyed talking to you. We like your style. Rolly's been trying to get his book or like his story told for like ever. Like, would you be interested in helping us tell his story? And I was like, fuck yeah, of course, yeah.
You're like, I don't want to write you don't want to write the R. Kelly story, Trapped in the Closet.
No, definitely not. This
R.
was
Kelly Crumb. But,
distant cousin.
Very distant cousin, mind you.
So that's great. So they dug you.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave you your in with Rolly.
Yeah, and that like they liked me so much that like I was living in New Jersey still at the time, and like I had to fly out here to like meet him and like talk to him and everything. I stayed with them for a week, and like every morning I would wake up, we'd have breakfast together. He would start talking, I would just put record on, and like we would talk for hours, and then it was like, I don't know, 100 hours worth of like audio that I
Is that how those audio tapes started?
No, that was way different. The audio tapes. So like after the book came out, like he would still have more stories, and I was like, you know, what the fuck? You couldn't tell me this like 3 months ago when I was writing the book.
Yeah.
But like he had so many more about very particular subjects that Leonard Kinsey, who published the book, was like, why don't we just record him and like release it as an audio companion? And like he just had so many stories about so many things that we've done 6 volumes, 7 volumes at this point. We have one more coming about Epcot, but like he just has so many great stories. We wanted people to hear him tell it in his own voice.
Are you still selling those on iTunes, or are they everywhere now?
They're everywhere. They're on iTunes, Amazon. Those are called More Cute Stories. And
Gotcha.
I think there's 6 of them currently, and the 7th one will be Epcot. We've been trying to record it for years, but you know, things keep happening. COVID happened too. Like it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's so cool, man. I am excited though. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there is an R. Kelly attraction coming to Epcot. It's very educational. It's about pissing on
Yeah, I was
people.
gonna say the human body.
Yeah. It's going in the.
They're
human-
reopening that pavilion specifically for that ride.
Yeah.
It's replacing Body Wars, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sick.
it's 4D.
It's
Yeah. It's
the one time that like the water sprinkling feature makes sense in one of those rides.
Yeah, no, it'll play. I Believe I Can Fly. When you get piss in your eye, it'd be great. When the moon pisses in your eye.
God.
Yeah, this is great. Not everything can be a gem, guys. But
That's okay,
look,
you did good.
thank you, man. Thank you, dude. Oh shit, it's my only chance, bro. Okay. All right, cut. No, dude, it's funny, man, to think about though, like. Because I know what you're saying with, when I was a kid, I would get fascinated with who made movies. I'd look into like who the producer was, who the director was. Unfortunately, I didn't learn like everyday life things that would help me function as an adult or,
same.
be
I get that.
be a tribute to society. But I did know who produced Batman, so it was great. But it's funny because theme parks, it dawned on me one time. I'm like, it just felt like something that had been around forever. And it's amazing that there is dudes like Rolly Crump that are like walking around that made these things that the world knows. And I remember I watched that, there's a movie about the two animators, the two 9-year-old men.
Walt and Ollie.
Yeah.
No, Ollie and something.
And Frank.
Ollie and Frank, that's it.
Yeah, Ollie and Frank. And they mentioned that like most of the planet has seen their work and no one knows
who
their
they
name.
are. Yeah,
Unless you're, a crazy person like us. But it's just, it's kind of insane. But I think that's great that you did that. And I don't know, man. There's so much to Rolly with here.
What would you consider those? Are those audio books? What are those?
We call them audio companions, essentially, because they're not audio books. Like, it's all stories that are not in the actual book.
Yeah.
So
So
we
like
just call
Teddy
them
Ruxpin?
audio.
Or
Dude, they're
kinda.
Dude, they're really fucking
it's
good, man.
you literally
Really
like
good.
put the microphone in front of him and you're like, all right, Rolly, we're gonna talk about the animators you work with. Boom, an hour later, he's done. He's like, all right, here we go.
They're
Put it
fucking
online.
great, dude. I love, and it's cool when you listen to him too, because you can hear like pages turn and shit like in the background.
Because he had like his notes that he's ready
Yeah.
to go, and you can like. I mean, we try to get some of them out. Sorry, Kinsey. Ross heard them.
Oh no,
like,
I fucking
but it's
like
cool.
that's the kind of
Yeah.
stuff that I like though.
But like his notes are like it's literally a notepad with like 2 or 3 words, and he'll talk about those 2 or 3
Yes.
words for like a half hour.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
He is
Fuck that, dude.
91
Leave those
now,
fucking
and he
things in
remembers
there.
more. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's insane.
That's awesome, dude. That's such a what's nice about that is like being 91 years old and like the amount of fucking material that you guys have like thrown out there and all these stories that would be lost to time they're captured.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
And I think it
fucking
was
love 'em.
important for Rolly especially because like you think of the Disney theme parks and everybody that like built them, and it's like, oh yeah, greatest place on earth. Rolly's like, he's smoking weed when
Yeah.
he's like animating. He's driving his fucking car through Disneyland when
Sunbathing
he was
naked.
Yeah, sunbathing naked on the roof, like so much that the nuns across the street
Yep.
from the studio had to like
Love
complain
that
about
story.
it. He used to ride his fucking motorcycle in the studio, like inside the buildings to piss off his boss. Like he did not give a shit.
No.
And I feel like those are the best stories. Like,
Absolutely.
you could talk to other animators. I'm sure they have good stories, but they always end with like the twinkle in their eye and like, haha, it was so great. Rolly's like, whatever, fuck Dick Irvine. He was a piece of shit. I hated working for him. He ruined all my projects. What else you want to
Yeah,
talk
well,
about?
it's also because the way when Rolly came out, like he was at like this new version of Imagineers.
Yeah,
like he
it
was
like
that
second generation.
Yeah,
Almost
he
like
was.
counterculture.
He
like,
was. He
yeah.
was
And
the
that's the thing
counterculture.
that's lost now, I think, is people.
It's
'cause
so
such
homogenized.
a mega thing. Like, I'm sure there's brilliant people that work. I mean, there is brilliant people
Yeah.
that work on these rides.
But
Obviously,
they can't do
still.
anything that's fucking that creative.
Unfortunately, because it's all the IP stuff, all the movies that we've seen, and I love that he made something like the Museum of the Weird is just so
fucking rad.
yeah, so rad. And yeah, but what's great though is they do. Does he ever acknowledge or is it known that like they kind of nod to his stuff now, like because they do a lot of like fan service and they bring up a lot of stuff, like there is elements of Museum of the World that they've brought back and stuff.
Well,
There's
there's
some stuff,
and
yeah.
even the comic book they put out a couple years
Which
ago.
is a flaming piece of
It's a
shit.
piece of shit.
But it was cool that like it gave that project the recognition that it never got otherwise.
That's so
quite honestly.
cool.
And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I wish the story was better, yes. But
Whatever.
like it was still cool to see the things that he created take on a new life in the comic book form. I really still wish that they had done Museum of the Weird. Like that would have been fucking great. It wouldn't have changed the mansion. It was separate from the mansion. But like, they can still do it. They got the room.
Are any of those guys gonna fucking do any talks at the Walt Disney Family Museum anytime soon?
Who? Like
Either him or Bob or Alice or anybody?
I mean, Bob's up there when it was open. He was there all the time doing talks. We've done 2 talks for the Walt with Rolly for the museum. But like, unless it's virtual, probably not. We're not gonna go. He's not gonna go up there again. It's a long trip for him. I mean, the guy's 91. Leave him the fuck alone.
Yeah.
You want to talk to him? Pick up a phone.
Yeah. Those talks were fun though. I'm glad I got to go when I saw him.
Yeah, that was the first time I met you too, wasn't it? At the museum?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it was when we went up there with him.
Because Alex was like a little.
He was a little youngin', my son. Yeah, I think that was the first time I met you in person.
I think so.
And look where we are now.
Yeah,
Each
man.
other's assholes.
So, me and Jeff, we met because of the Disney fan community, which is quite a fucking tangled web of weirdos and interesting, cool people like us. I would consider you guys to be cool people.
Thank you.
But it's a pretty. I mean, I have my own thoughts and opinions that are, quite. I mean, I would say a lot of the Disney fan community are a bunch of fucking douchebags. Really,
I
just
would concur.
assholes.
I would go stronger.
Yeah,
I think fucking douchebag is not strong enough for some of these people.
yeah, because I've had a couple instances where, like, me and my friends have done some projects and had some weird encounters with some cunts from the Disney fan community. And
You mean Corella DeVille's?
dude, straight up, dude. Like, there was one guy in particular. His name is Leo something or other, and he's this fucking loser who tried to get me and our buddy Colin Goheen kicked out of the Walt Disney Family Museum.
Older guy?
Yeah,
Maybe starts with an H at the last name?
I can't remember.
I think
I
I've
blocked
had
him out of my
encounter with
memory.
this man as well.
Yeah. So I think that he ratted on, because we were really excited about this video that we did a long time ago. And that's one of the times I met you. That was the first time I met you. That was the first time, yeah.
Rossco was in the museum.
So we did this video, and it was fucking cool. I don't think I ever showed it to you. Did I?
I haven't seen it. No, that
It's
sounds
fucking,
great, though.
it's cool.
It's pretty
really cool.
Yeah.
like a tour of the Walt.
Well, it was like the whole idea. I don't know if it really translated all that well, but it was like, I go to the Walt Disney Family Museum, I get possessed by the spirit of Walt Disney, and I basically give the nod to basically all these fringers from the Disney fan community. So that was like the whole idea of the video. I don't know if it translated, but either way, it was a really nice, like, it was a really fun video.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cool, and it gave me a chance and gave us a chance to really meet all these people that I really liked in that fucking realm.
And now I can't fucking get rid of you.
I know. Yeah,
You're still fucking here.
Yeah,
Beetlejuiced it.
AIDS, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like that fucking guy, Leo, whatever the fuck his
Yeah.
last name is, total douche. And I do think that he did something where he tried to like get us banned from the museum or something.
Was he an usher of the museum?
He's
What is
just like
his-
a random. I don't even think he even was a volunteer. at the
he's
museum,
just some
but
douche.
He's just some guy. Like that's the problem with the Disney community. These fans take ownership over shit that they shouldn't. Like they have no right to. Like yes, you can enjoy a thing and that's fine, but
It's on a whole different level.
It's a whole different level.
Yeah.
It's their thing.
Like,
I don't even know how to explain it.
I think that a lot of these people, it's like when you see people that are like on YouTube especially. Like, let's just talk about fucking Disney YouTube, which is something that I really tried to get involved with.
Yeah.
And it was the most, I mean, honestly, like I was just trying to find some kind of footing, and like because I was friends and know Disney YouTubers, I felt like I needed to do this as well. And it was a good, like, it was just something like, okay, cool, I need a topic. This is easy. I can just do this. And you get sucked into that world, and then you think you have to embody all this horseshit about, like, keeping it clean, keeping it kid-friendly, all this stuff. And then you have to, like, pretend that everything that Disney does is the best thing in the world. Yeah. Or else you face the backlash of these dingleberries that have no fucking lives. It's really weird. And I just remember, like, thinking that it was so disingenuous. Is that a word? Disingenuous?
Yeah, and it definitely fits here, for sure.
Yeah, like, I felt like, for me, it was so disingenuous because, like, I have to pretend that this is, like, oh, yeah, and then I have to film myself on basically a vacation? Like, that's fucking stupid. But I just remember, like, just kind of ingraining myself into that community and just finding, like, all these weird, awful people that I think that they believe that they're getting some kind of points in this Disney, like, if they just are a certain way and at a certain level, that they're like, there's like a, they're getting like these Disney points or something.
They're like racking them up for something that's
for
never
something.
gonna fucking happen.
Like it's like you cash those in when you go to heaven.
So even prior to the YouTube stuff, when I was writing for another Disney fan website for a number of years before I became very Disney franchise, the same thing. Like, if we were not the first to get an article up about whatever the fuck it is that Disney was doing, then why fucking bother? Like, why would we not be the first? And when I first moved out to California, I lived with a couple that ran a very popular Disney website. They are no longer together, thankfully.
I used to go
no
on this
longer
website
own them.
every day.
Yeah, and like
every
it was
fucking day.
very, very popular. Fuck it, I don't care. Mice Chat, fuck
Mice
you.
Chat.
The guy who runs Mice Chat is an asshole. I will flat out, I don't even care. I've had, like, we used to be close. Me and my fiance and my son moved into that house when we first moved in there. I've always been thankful for him giving us that opportunity to, like, get our start out here and a place to live. But, like, I don't know what it was. Like, maybe I didn't see it because I was only seeing the happy-go-lucky stuff. But, like, there's a very dark side to a lot of these hardcore Disney fans. And if you are not this way all the time, like, everything's great, everything's fine, everything that Disney does, they shit out gold, like, there's a problem. And I think that was the beginning of the end for me when it came to all the Disney stuff. Seeing the, quote-unquote, to steal from Leonard Kinsey, the dark side of Disney, like the fandom community. They're all fucking crazy. I can't do it.
And that dark side, like the quote-unquote dark side of Disney, that community was the community that I always gravitated towards anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I liked all the fringers. I liked the guys that would, like, take acid and go to Disney or, like, get loaded, breaking the rules. Like, because that's kind of always been my vibe anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of, like, not a dirty punk, but I have that little fuck you mentality baked into my soul. So, and contrarian, whatever, but I always loved that. And that's what always, like, excited me about what you were doing, what Kinsey was doing, is because it was a bunch of people that applauded and had a good time, you know, with Disney properties and things like that, but also understood, like, there's a lot more that you can, like, when you scratch that surface, there's a lot more shit that you can get involved in
That
and do
gold
fun
scratches
shit.
off really easily when
Absolutely.
you pick at it just a tiny bit.
And man, I always loved, like, when Kinsey filmed himself in the Utilidors. I fucking love that. That was so
Have you ever
good.
seen any of those videos?
No.
You can see? Oh my god. We gotta send you his YouTube.
Did he write he wrote a book, right?
He wrote Dark Side of Disney.
Oh, okay.
Which
Great
was
part about.
a huge deal when it came out, because, like, it would tell people, like, how to sneak alcohol into the parks, the best, like, family restrooms, like the single restrooms that you can go have sex in, like, what the best rides that you drop, like, and, like, it was super hardcore and like fucked up, but, like, over the years, like, I'm very close with Kinsey now, and he is not that same person who wrote that book. Like, he's pretty mild-mannered for the most part, but, like, he allowed another side of Disney to come out that, like, Disney and hardcore Disney fans were not very comfortable with.
No.
And
still aren't.
And they still aren't, for sure.
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the issues that we ran into with Rolly's book, when we decided to publish with Kinsey, because, like, he was the only person that was going to, like, put the money and the time and effort into to make it the way Rolly wanted it, thank God. We got a lot of shit from Disney fans, from Disney fan sites, from the Walt Disney Company themselves, even down to, like, people that were also close to Rolly. Like, they were very concerned. And then, you know what? The book is the best fucking thing that could have happened. There was no issues whatsoever. It looks fucking great.
Yes.
It's exactly how Rolly wants it to be. And, like, and I am forever grateful for Leonard Kinsey for taking a chance on it and for publishing Darkside, so I got to know him.
And it's funny too, because, like, I feel like Rolly, of course that Rolly would want to fucking publish.
It's his fucking style.
Yeah.
Like, of course it is.
Yeah.
Like, if you read any other book about a Disney Imagineer, or, like, a book they wrote themselves, it's always, like, the same shit we're talking about. Very happy, very, like, oh, everything's great. Rolly is not like that at all. He was very eager to be honest about his experiences with Disney. He talks very candidly, like, how he left Disney twice and why he left Disney, because they were shitty. How, like, everything fell apart when Walt died because he was the one with the vision and he let Rolly, like, go wild and create stuff, and he needed to rein him in, he would. But, like, you know, I'm sorry. I know people love him. Fuck Marty Sklar. Marty would never let him do that. Like they've had issues over the years. Dick Irvine, fuck that guy too. Like, these are the people that made Disney the very sanitized, whitewash thing it is today, which is unfortunate. And they're gonna be stuck that way forever because no one's gonna take that chance again.
No.
Yeah.
No, nobody can take any chances with that much money on the line.
Yeah.
It all has to be run through the fucking, meat grinder and just formed into a little patty that everybody can just be like, that's a good little patty cracker. Yeah, I love it. It sucks.
Yeah, that is interesting to hear about that, or, like, that period of time after Walt died, because you had those dudes try to. It's kind of like when the genius in a band it's like Sublime with Rome.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like no offense to Rome, the city, but
or the singer, dude.
Yeah,
like whatever.
Yeah.
But it's at that point in time, it's like you're basically just a cover band.
You are a cover band.
Yeah.
I actually saw them once, and I was like, "Why am I fucking here?
Yeah.
Like, why am I listening to this? This is not Sublime."
God, remember when Sublime was doing it was the Long Beach Dub All Stars.
Oh shit, I do remember that. Yeah.
I played a show with the Long Beach Dub All
Did
Stars.
you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. And the show was good. I mean, the crowd was great because they were all very excited, and it was the first time that the rest of the band was playing the Phoenix, which was the last show that Bradley did before he died. There's nobody wants to talk about it, but he bought heroin from somebody at the Phoenix, and I believe that's what killed him. Yes. Yeah, and I actually think I know the guy that he bought heroin off of. Go figure. But I don't know that for a fact. It's always that weird thing where nobody wants to talk
You don't
about
want
it.
to talk about it. You're never really gonna.
Dude,
be
and
sure,
what's
but,
fucking funny too is that there's a
was his name Leo?
yeah, his name was Leo.
We call that a callback,
Yeah.
folks.
Leo Heroin.
Yeah, Leo H.
I did say it started with an H. That works.
Yeah.
Good old Leo
But
Heroin.
I remember, everybody was really excited. They're like, "Oh yeah, Sublime is here. It's so cool." And they were so fucked up. And I think Bud, the drummer, was so wasted he didn't even make it on stage. And the bassist Bud, his bass was so fucking out of tune throughout the entire first song. It was a shit show. And I ran into some guy, I was playing another show years down the road at in the middle of fucking nowhere. And me and my homies were at a Wiener Schnitzel. And I keep seeing this guy poking his head out of the back of the Wiener Schnitzel. And he comes up to the front. He's like, "Yo, man, did you guys play, did you and your band play a show with the Long Beach Dub All Stars?" I was like, "Yep, that's me." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you guys were way better than they were. They were terrible." I'm like, "Yeah, man." It was pretty fucking bad. End of the story. But anyway.
No, but that's cool, man. I don't know. I'm fascinated with that stuff, dude. It's all, all of the thing with Robertland is there's so many
stream
levels,
crosses.
And yeah.
We're all crossing streams.
But there was one thing talking about the Disney fan community. I would love to know what. You don't have to name names, obviously, but
I'll name names, it's fine.
okay. What's probably the most pathetic mental sign of just psychosis from a fan that you've seen firsthand?
Wow.
I have received death threats for an article I wrote on Mice Chat about how the Carousel of Progress was falling apart, and the animatronics were shitty, and there was something else too. Oh, one of the polar bears when the fucking Maelstrom ride was still in Epcot, how there was a big hole in it, and it was sitting like that for years, and somebody sent me this anonymous death threat email, how fucking dare you say that they need to fix these things, the depths that these people go, and again, they get this ownership over whatever it is for some reason. That was truly pathetic. And when I got that email, I was like, I need to get the fuck out. That was it for me. I was like, there's no way I can't have someone threatening me and my family over a fucking robot that's a polar bear.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's
Holy
insanity.
shit.
No fucking way.
Your life was threatened for the calling out the shitting, the falling. Yeah, Carousel of Progress now, though. And, that's one thing I wanted to say, or I was intrigued about. You're talking about writing for those sites and talking about some of those things that were taboo then.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's commonplace, on the internet.
Yeah.
All those big, Yesterworld, all those big sites, they all mention, they mention some of the, flaws and some of those things. It's but when were you writing from, when was that?
That was probably around 8-9 years ago.
Yeah, so I could see then it was taboo probably to mention, oh, this ride is kind of a turd now. Someone needs to fix it.
Someone needs to fix it.
Yeah. That's so crazy though. Death threats from that. Now
It doesn't get any fucking lower, really. That's about as low as it goes.
And why bother? Why do you love this fucking thing that much that you threaten to kill someone over saying a bad thing about it. Like, it's not like I fucking love Carousel of Progress. I love the Maelstrom ride when it was still up. Like, I want them to fix that shit so it looks good. So, like, what would compel someone to email someone else and, like, complain about?
But also, that's the funny shit, dude.
My mother conceived me on Carousel of Progress.
I fucking... yeah. Well, I mean... That's the best stuff, though. I have somebody that would... They don't do it anymore, but they would send me photos of certain rides.
Of their dick on a ride?
Yeah, they would. Just, like, slapping their dick on it.
I'm in this fucking tracks, actually.
Yeah. He would send me photos.
Remember that one with the ghost that he was inside the ghost? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's like...
It was Pepper's Ghost Effect.
Yeah.
With his dick.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what it was.
He has a little top hat. Like,
It was Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
No, it's...
I won't say the name, but it's the dude that you hooked me up with him when I went down to Florida, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe it wasn't Florida. Maybe it was somewhere else, but... Anyway.
I don't remember. Whatever.
Yeah, so, like, he would always send me photos of, like, some of the attractions, like, in like, gross disrepair. And it was always so fucking rad because it would be like an animatronic with the fucking arm ripped off and like fucking hydraulic fluid spilling out of the fucking.
I mean, that stuff is
socket.
fucking cool.
I love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. And like that's the stuff. I don't know, man. I just wish that there was like more of that stuff they would let like come out. You know, they're so protective about that kind of thing. It's like, dude, it's fucking robots and it's
so like
they're rides.
Again, I know I'm talking about the book a lot, but like to bring it back to that was one of the times I realized like how badly they whitewash everything. Because like we wanted to use official Disney images in Rolly's book, and they wanted us to cut, like they wanted creative control over the content of the book. They wanted to cut stuff out in order for us to be able to pay to use these photos.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there's no fucking way.
No.
You can fuck off. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
That's not going to be Rolly's story then. That's the Walt Disney version of the story. And there's no fucking way.
Yeah, fuck them. They would have made that book so shitty.
It would have been so shitty if we went. Like, I had another publisher before I was with Kinsey, and like he did not give a shit whatsoever. He was like happy to like do whatever Disney wanted, and that's not what I wanted. That's not what Rolly wanted. Like, let these people tell their fucking story. Let them see the bad stuff that goes on too. Who cares if he smoked weed in Disneyland while he was working? Like, he probably did cool shit that way.
Absolutely.
Like, who gives a shit?
I'm surprised Bob hasn't done a book.
Bob has done. Okay, so he's done 2 books, but they're not like memoirs per se. They're more like mechanically minded books about like how he literally built certain things from scratch, not like telling stories. But even like he does that Bobland tour. I don't think he's done it in a while, but like where they rent a bus once a month and he's at the front of the bus as the fucking tour guide, and like the bus drives around LA and Hollywood and he points out the Disney sites and he tells stories and shit, and like that's his version of the book essentially.
It's pretty. I've been on that tour.
Have you been on that tour?
Yeah. Well, I went on the second half of the tour. I was with Adam one day and we ended up doing that tour with Ernie. Like Ernie was like, "Come with us," and
Ernie, the guy from
who does
it, right?
who does it, and he like. It was actually really fun. He took us out to fucking lunch and shit, or dinner, I think. It was a really good time.
Bob is a fucking character. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah, he is.
I love him so much.
Man, and Bob Gurr, for anyone who doesn't know, was one of the OG Imagineers who helped with the Matterhorn, Autopia.
He built all the ride vehicles.
Wow. Also all the vehicles.
I
Anything
believe
that has
so, yeah.
wheels,
Yeah, he did
Bob
it.
has designed.
That's nuts.
Not to plug my own shit, but if you go on YouTube and look up the Bob Gurr roast, I forget how old he was. I think he turned 80, and someone put on this Bob Gurr like roast, and it was all these Disney luminaries, like Marty Sklar was there roasting him, Rolly's son Chris was there roasting him, a bunch of like 3 or 4, Garner Holt, the guy who does animatronics, and fucking me of all people, like on the roasters panel. But my entire roast of Bob is up on YouTube, and like. God, you don't live until like you roast the shit out of a Disney legend, quite honestly, and like talk about his penis in front of all these people.
That's
awesome.
so funny, man. That's great, dude. I don't know.
It's on your YouTube?
It's on my YouTube.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna dig it up.
I'm like, Bob is known for like designing like the Matterhorn cars and like the monorails and all the other Disney rides that are shaped like penises. It's like shit like that. Like that's fucking great that I can talk to these people like.
I gotta fucking find that. I'm gonna chop it up, repost it, and fuck without a context and cancel your fucking.
I mean,
dick.
whatever.
Yeah.
I say a lot of terrible shit about Bob in there. It's fine.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why I started the podcast is just to have some of those stories. You know, we've had a lot of comedians that had worked there that had sex while operating the Mr. Potato Head and Toy Story. You know, in the Midway Mania, and so, you know, hearing about people getting decapitated and all the death. And that's one thing because there's a lot of like haziness around like the accidents and death at Disneyland. It's always it feels like folklore. Like even the stuff that you can find, you don't see like articles. It's very strange. Is there like, I mean, everyone's fucking paid off, right? There's no way we're gonna get we're never gonna know the name of the dude that got decapitated on Thunder Mountain.
You could probably find it,
sure
but they really try to suppress that information.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like sporting events. Like you never hear about people dying at sporting events unless it's like really grotesque, like that one guy who got fucked up at Dodger Stadium. But like there's people that like get fucked up at stadiums and get pushed off balconies and things like that and die. And you just you never.
They fall into a butt machine.
They do, yeah. They just get fucked. Exactly, yeah.
Pretty brutal, but
I got the video. It's great. Here, want to borrow it?
Man,
VHS.
I do love. It's a Faces of Death ballpark.
I just kind of keep it analog, just
man,
just in case.
It's your fucking minute details of this bullshit you spin
No.
that always get me.
It's not bullshit. It's for real.
I know that's part of the problem. It is all.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's a SVHS. I fucking upgraded it recently.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Took the old copy, burned it. Yeah, and a stack of other things that I burned.
One day it'll be on CD-ROM.
No, definitely not. I'm just only keeping on SVHS. Just to keep a really small.
Doesn't it degrade the quality every time you make a new copy of it, though? So, like, eventually you're not going to be able to see what the fuck.
Oh, I have help. God helps me a lot.
Oh, okay.
That
actually
with a lot
tracks.
of things.
That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
So I have help with God, and he just, he upped the quality. Weirdly enough, it's crazy. He's a good guy.
Speaking of different mediums and like Laserdisc, wasn't Jessica Rabbit's like Snatch in the Laserdisc of Roger Rabbit?
Roger Rabbit, yeah. When she I think she fell out of Benny the Cab, and like for half a frame you can see her. I mean, it's gone now. They fucking got rid of that completely. But they always try to get rid of that stuff as soon as humanly possible. The sex in the Lion King and like the fucking leaves, that's gone now. The penis on the Little Mermaid cover, that's all gone. Like
goddamn shame.
God, we can't have fun, can we? God,
no,
son of a bitch.
And animators are such fucking creepos too. Like they love that shit.
They are creepos for sure.
Yeah.
I got a chance to go to Cartoon Network and went on one of the show's animation floor, and like I kind of went from like area to, they showed me area to area, and like in some of the like the storyboard rooms and stuff, and some of the notes that were everywhere are fucking raunchy as all hell. Rolly had he talked about a lot of those notes that he would leave or would be left on his desk. Those are great.
There was a lot.
Didn't he show them in the slideshow?
There was some stuff in our slideshows from like shit that he would draw and like give to Harriet. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
Tubman.
No, God damn it, not her. Who was the Imagineer? Harriet. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah.
But like, they were raunchy as fuck, all of it, including like the women too. They were all super raunchy, and they would like pass these horrific drawings to each other while they were animating stuff. And even like when they got to wed and they were designing attractions, they would still do the same shit.
Why
so. Nothing changed. They're a bunch of high schoolers essentially working at this fucking theme park that creates all these fantastic rides for kids. So take that, you fucking Disney pixel fucking store assholes.
I wonder if that shit is still going on, like, because everything is, I don't know, in the last like few years, things have really fucking, there's been some clamps, like things that were totally okay a few years ago are absolutely not okay now.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that stuff still goes on. Or if any of it.
I'm sure it does to a certain extent, but I feel like Disney has such a clamp on their workers, and because so many people want to get in there and like work for them. Like, so if somebody fucks up, you're gone and you'll be replaced in like half a second. So I feel like it happens, but out from underneath the watchful eye of the Walt Disney Corporation.
Yeah, I would think that like there's always somebody, you got to really watch your shit, because there's always somebody that really wants to fucking come up and put themselves just take you down specifically so they can come up.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time in that company. 100%.
Yeah,
I was triggered by the ideas that he had. And that's it's so terrible now. I don't. That doesn't sound like a great creative space. Like it's a bummer, because you think about all of the just like wild people that used to work at these places. And sort of, it's unfortunate, and what's going to happen is, I mean, even like Saturday Night Live used to be like this counterculture badass show. And I feel like when things kind of just become the man, essentially. Yeah. And they lose, but there is people that like seep through that kind of bring like the edge and like the, artistry. Like there's always something I think that will like somehow break through, but I don't know.
Maybe something new. I feel like a lot of the like established, like a lot of the establishment right now is like, it's so locked up and they're so afraid to really push any boundaries, or they're so nervous about pissing people off on Twitter or anywhere, and they just are making moves specifically for that, for a bunch of people that really aren't going to see these movies or care about these rides. Like, I just wonder like what a lot of this entertainment shit is going to look like in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think that landscape is definitely changing for the most part. Overall,
and it has
without a doubt.
Because I mean, even things that like, it's just weird. Some of the decisions that these companies make specifically for like woke culture, like just let's just call it what it is. Like I think about like the Ghostbusters movie in particular. Like the movie was made like because they're like, oh, you know what, we got to bring in we have to like get a new fan base, and we want to expand this out and build this out to something else. So why don't we have a whole team of girls and just make it so it's like we'll get that new, like it'll stir up controversy, it'll get clicks, it'll get retweets, it'll push that, and that's what's gonna make it successful. And then it just falls flat on its ass because it's not good.
Well, it's a gimmick. That's the thing that I don't like about a lot of that stuff is it's not like, oh, I hate progression in society. It's more of like it's a gimmick and it's disingenuous.
It's not well thought out.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, that movie was a turd sandwich, and it's not because of the women. It's so talented, but the movie.
Kate McKinnon is a shining star in that movie.
See, I don't think anybody of those people are funny. No, I don't think
they're all great.
I literally think. I don't find them funny at all. But comedy is, and then again, like comedy is so subjective. Yeah. Like a lot of people like don't like Sacha Baron Cohen, and it's because they don't like the characters that he portrays. And they find him annoying and stuff. Which I feel the same way about Melissa McCarthy, and like I never found Kate McKinnon funny ever, nor Leslie Jones. But at the same, and I don't find Will Ferrell funny either. But that's specific to me. I have a weird taste in comedy, so. It's just, I just didn't really think that the movie was any good. And I understand like trying to build out like, strong female characters or characters of color and all these things and like doing it right. Like, I mean, you think about like Alien, like some of my favorite characters growing up, Sarah Connor or
Ripley. They're all like strong
Alien,
women, but it was
like, those are great examples of like what can be done, like to make, if you want to branch out and you want to take an IP that was, all guys, and you want to kind of flip it on its head, why not do something like that? But then again, like also like when you think about like Terminator 2, or you think about or Terminator, or even Alien, it was a mix of people, it was men and women, and it was a collaboration as opposed to just cranking the knob and just going, this is it. I feel like a lot of things are done now specifically for like in our heads and the way media and the way society is working now, we are doing things specifically to get retweets and clicks as opposed to just make like doing things for the love of whatever that is.
It is. That's it for sure.
Yeah, I think it speaks for itself.
Sucks.
When something, say like when Nirvana came out, or when like things that have, that are, I mean, that's a bold statement, whatever, some people probably don't like Nirvana, but I'm just saying like stuff that really is, really honest art, it always breaks through that ocean of poo-poo.
Yeah, but also, I mean, if you want to talk about Nirvana, I also think that, Kurt Cobain was extremely smart, and he was very smart and specific, and he knew that all these songs were your typical pop song.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's great. I love when something can be fucked up. Like he always said, like he loved a fucked up pop song, and I love that. That's what I love about like Rolly Crumb's work. It's like it's a Disneyland ride, but there's something like the Museum of the Weird,
intangible weirdness. I think it's lost in a lot of respects. I feel like a lot of what like the newer big budget things. It's missing that intangible weirdness, and I feel like all these companies, they want to go there and then they immediately pull back. Like I think about like the Ant-Man movie and how it was originally supposed to be an Edgar Wright movie.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how good that movie would have been if it was an Edgar Wright movie?
There are like fucking pieces of that
You can
movie
see it.
that are Edgar Wright-esque, and I'm like, God, this could have been so good. Because I hate Ant-Man. Like, I wanted to love that movie so much, and I just couldn't do it. And I feel bad because like I know people love it, but I totally get it.
It's fine.
Yeah, like you're saying. I mean, I think those, those things like, oh, there's going to be 40 Marvel movies. There's going to be like, rather than make one good movie, like there's always like a universe of things, and it's, people are going to get tired of, oh, they're making a Captain Crunch film series with Daniel Day-Lewis and Russ.
But that would be cool though if that was.
I would see that. Actually.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a dream movie. I'm
sorry,
sorry,
but into that.
Yeah, it just
Holy
sucks
shit.
because I feel like these companies are just like, oh yeah, here's something that's like this weird, like intangible. I love the words intangible weirdness. Like here's that intangible weirdness. Here this is, and then they're like, okay, cool. How do we strip this down and make it terrible? Like it's almost like there's a concerted effort to take anything that's good, strip away what it makes it good, to make it fit into a fucking box. It sucks.
To get as much people as possible to like see it, and I think
Yeah.
that's where the problem is for theme parks in general. They all have that problem. There are few exceptions to the rule, I think, but like most of them want more people to come and see their same shit all the time. Not very many theme parks think outside the box and do that intangible weirdness and make it fucking rock.
And it's crazy because I feel like now it's like all the Disney rides, like anything moving forward in any of the Disney parks, everything's going to be based on a pre-existing IP.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see like a new ride anytime soon, a
No.
brand new thing, because they have to do what makes the money.
Yeah.
Marvel makes the money right now.
Yep.
They're going to fucking
Lead it
continue
to
making
death.
more rides.
Yep.
Star Wars made them a fuck ton of money. Of course they're going to make Star Wars rides.
Right.
Like, you're not going to get anything new for a very, very long time.
It's fucking weird, dude. I haven't even been to the fucking Star Wars land at Disneyland.
See, and
You
I
love
like-
it.
I love it, but like I have a weird relationship with Star Wars. Like even growing up, like Star Wars, I thought was just okay. I didn't think George Lucas was like a great filmmaker at all. Like I know he didn't like direct them and shit, like especially the prequels. I thought they were sort of pieces of shit. But I thought like he had good stories. And as I got older, I grew to appreciate the original trilogy more. And especially like seeing it through my son's eyes, like it's a whole different thing. Now him and I are like fucking obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So like we would spend all day, like we have spent, just him and I spent all day in Galaxy's Edge because that was our thing here. So not only is it a bonding thing for us, but like it's fucking cool too to be like in that world, or like as best as it can be.
Yeah.
But for me, like I have a lot of background in like immersive theater in Los Angeles, where like a traditional theater, like if people don't know, traditional theater, like you go, you see the show and you leave, that's it. Immersive theater, you're in the show, you're part of the show, you're like a character in the show. So like coming from that into like what Galaxy's Edge is and what it was supposed to be, because it was supposed to be like a very immersive land with like characters all over, aliens, you meet bounty hunters, you go on quests, you do X, Y, and Z, in addition to like the restaurants and the rides and stuff. Like I wish we had gotten that. Like that's the intangible weirdness that I wish we got from Galaxy's Edge, but instead we got, don't get me wrong, I still love it, but we got the sanitized Disney version of it.
Right.
Even at first when they were like, the cast members were like only speaking in very specific terms. All the signs were like very in-world. Now, because people are so used to normal shit, and this sounds mean, but they're fucking dumb, they couldn't look at the menu and be like, what the fuck is a tri-tip yip? Like they couldn't like,
What's
get
a
them.
rondo wrap?
Yeah, like they had no idea. So like they had to change all that shit to a language that these dummies could understand. So we lose that weirdness.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the problem stems from. I think the society is so used to that shit.
I just
now
want a
that, like-
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's.
I want a beer.
Well, we could. I mean, dude, it's. There's literally. We need to have you on again because there's literally a limitless amount of things we could talk to you about,
Yeah,
and
I'd love to.
we could all
Yeah.
riff on.
Let's talk about fucking knots next, goddamn.
Yes,
You want
I
to
know.
talk an intangible weirdness? Boom.
Yeah,
Kings of the
dude.
castle.
Yeah.
I know, man, and there's always going to be
I
stuff.
thought for a second there when you said like let's talk about, I thought you were gonna say Nazis, and I was like, is Jeff really gonna
Yeah,
talk about
intangible
Nazis?
weirdness, Nazis. That makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty weird. They, they
are
like,
pretty weird.
they like genocide. It's odd.
it is very odd. It's
kinda-
outside the normal realm of things.
It's a little kooky, but no, guys, this is awesome to have you, Jeff.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
dude. And one thing I do want to end on though, if Disney is trying to maybe straighten up some of the rides and sort of cut out some of the insensitive things.
They are.
I don't
Jungle
know-
Cruise, I wonder what they're going to change it to.
I don't even give a shit about the changes. I think it's going to be fine. I think people are making
Oh, yeah.
too big of a
Oh,
fuss.
No, no.
I really hope they do add The Rock in there. A lot.
I don't think they're going to add the Rock.
You know, I
Though that would be
sold a
fucking
Jungle
hilarious.
Cruise movie T-shirt, like a film crew shirt. I sold a Jungle Cruise movie film crew shirt for like $55.
To a crazy Disney fan?
I have no idea.
I'm sure it was because people love that shit.
It sold in like 2 minutes.
It doesn't surprise me at all. They want any little piece of Disney memorabilia they can get their fucking hand, especially if it's exclusive and nobody else has it.
Yeah.
I just hope that they do change, though. That it's very insensitive what they do on Small World with the Canadian representation. All this that doofy Mountie, yeah, the like that's it. I mean, what? Come on, dude. Canadians are people too, and you know.
To you, maybe.
Yeah,
Not
well, they
to
do.
me.
They do have Poontine in the Beauty and the Beast restaurant.
Oh, yeah, they do have that. Yeah,
they
yeah.
do have Poontang too.
Hey-o.
But we're
That's
not
on
gonna.
the secret menu.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
on the Epstein. menu.
It's in a secret bathroom.
Yeah, have you been to what the fuck? What is that stupid fucking VIP thing? What is it? The
Epstein
third
Island?
door? What, no. Yes,
33?
Epstein-
Oh, Club 33.
Club 33. Yeah, whatever. I fucked up the joke. Whatever. Anyways,
Jeff, where can they find you? Where can where can our
yeah.
listeners find you on social media?
I am on every social platform at Jeff Heimbuch, Heimbuch. And if you haven't read the Rolly Crump book, it's called It's Kind of a Cute Story by Rolly Crump, as told to Jeff Heimbuch. It's on every fucking book website you can think of,
It's a
along with the
great book.
companions, the more cute stories.
Those are great as well.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
what
it.
else? What do you got working on? I know that you've had a bunch of projects that have been in crazy ass development
Yeah.
and then not developed and then fucking
It's
ran
been
around
a fucking
and
wild couple of years. I don't do theme park shit anymore, really, except when it comes to Rolly stuff or like visiting knots. But I do a lot of fiction podcasting. So like if you're into like weird horror comedy, Return Home is what I've been doing for like 5 years. Lighthouse, 2 words, not 1 word, is a show that I released last year with iHeartRadio, and then I have like a few more iHeartRadio fiction podcasts coming out in the next year or 2, hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, because I hate Disney shit. So fuck it.
any chance you're going to be returning to the air guitar world
What
championships?
the fuck? Where did you fucking bring that out
I
from?
mean, I put on the video quite a bit
Oh
because
my-
it's you in a onesie.
that
and I
fucking-
like to
first of
fucking
all,
crank
that's
it to
only
it.
1 year. Thank you, Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Should have done it every year, bro.
I consider doing it this year because I did like a quarantine edition. I just couldn't get my shit together in time. But I would love to do fucking air guitar. Have you heard of it? They have like a U.S. air guitar competition where they have regionals all over the U.S. And when I was in fucking Jersey, I would go into New York every year for like 5 years and I would compete. And I like got pretty far. Like I never won, but like I would get like 2nd place, 3rd place. Like it was fucking rad. And then they had a finals and they would send the finalists, whoever won that, to Norway for the World Air Guitar Championship. That's my fucking goal one day.
That's badass. When you do that, when you go to Norway, please mime playing a guitar while burning a church. Just to
yeah,
the
kill a
fact-
whale too, or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
dolphin, please.
You know, like in spirit of all those great black metal bands.
That makes
they,
sense, actually.
Yeah, that they should add to Epcot. But
And
anyways,
blow a Swedish hockey player, just for me.
Out of love for
Yeah.
Ross.
But
and when you're
dude-
done, wipe your lips and say that was for Ross.
man. But Ross, where can folks find you?
In the alley beyond the
Pornhub.
7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Blowing a homeless guy
Yeah,
for
just doing meth and fucking, eating nachos at the same time. It's this new thing. I have this. I love it. It's like meth and nachos. I got to the point where I just started smoking so much meth that I could eat on it now. And this is what happens.
This is the grossest shit
This
I've
is what
ever heard
this.
in my
That's
life.
what this looks like now. You can find me on YouTube because I went back to YouTube, and I'm doing YouTube.
You're back on it now?
I'm
Really?
back on YouTube.
Good for you, Ross.
Oh, you would love it, Jeff.
Really?
Yes.
All right. I've missed
Yeah.
you on YouTube.
It's not what you think.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Make,
It's just me
surprise
cranking it.
They allow that?
They
It's
allow
YouTube
it.
Or
Yeah.
RedTube?
No,
There's
it's
a very big
YouTube.
difference
Yeah,
between
no.
the two.
I just put like a little. No, never mind. And I have a similar vibe on Instagram at Rossco Soletrain, ROSSCO SOLETRAIN, like the sole of your shoe and a choo-choo train, like I run on your mother.
Okay.
Oh, heck yeah.
God
And
damn.
guys, even though this is my podcast, you probably know who I am.
Robert Thompson.
Yeah, Robert Thompson. You could look up Dick Neptune, the Microwave Ovens, my band. And you could, maybe look up for some stand-up dates. I'll be playing in New Hampshire.
Hermosa Beach, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited, guys. It's going to be great. It's a new world. Things are opening up. We'll have to do some, shrooms together. And,
Yeah.
I'll
I have some.
And go on Disney Park.
yeah.
I actually have some shrooms.
Let's go on
exactly.
It's a Small World.
I'm down.
Yeah, I got some shrooms.
I've heard it's
They're
pretty fucked up if you do that on shrooms. I have never, but
Really?
I've heard it's fucking.
I've never done
bananas.
mushrooms at Disneyland either.
I've never done mushrooms. Period.
I have some good ones.
I've fucking been high at Disneyland, like smoked and
That's
had
different.
edibles. I know it's very different, but
Yeah.
Well, if we
Edibles
can-
are like the worst part about mushrooms. It's like, here's your anxiety level on edibles, that, and like with mushrooms, it's like anxiety comes up, comes down, and then it's just fun.
I'm
you
an
know?
anxious person. I feel like I'd be anxious the whole time and I'd want to die.
If you did them with me, you wouldn't be, because I would explain
I
to you.
think even more so.
I'd look you in the eye and I'd
No,
grab you
make
by
it
your
worse.
cock,
Make
and
it
I would
worse.
just say,
I'm
it's going to
anxious
be
right
okay.
now. I'm anxious right now. Son of a bitch.
All right, we love you guys. Bye.
I met her at the swap meet. She was unbelievable. I am an alien. I don't got human emotion. If you just come inside, I think you just might love me. If I just come inside, I think we'll have a baby. But oh, don't you should go to fun, yeah. A little test of something sweet, girl. Injection of Raven's revenge. Caramelized candy eyes. You were insatiable. VHS from Alien. Tell me a lot about masturbation. If you just come outside, we'll go to Mars and get some candy bars. You must be from Buena Park. 'Cause sugar, you have my heart. Yeah. Oh, don't you should good fun, yeah. A little taste of something sweet, girl. Oh, don't you should good fun, yeah. Injection of Raven's revenge. So sticky and so sweet, you were there for me. So sticky and so sweet, you were there for me. Oh, candy. Oh, candy. So sticky and so sweet, you were there for me. So sticky and so sweet, you